The Christmas season is always a special time for many people, including for world artists who often celebrate this moment with happiness with family or closest friends. However, for Kim Taehyung, one of the members of the phenomenal group BTS, this year's Christmas gift is not a luxury item or a big surprise. What he wanted and finally got was a simple but so meaningful thing: the presence of his parents. The story begins with Taehyung's busy daily life with a busy schedule as a member of BTS and as an individual who continues to grow in the world of arts and entertainment. 2024 was a great year for Taehyung, both professionally and personally. His solo albums have gained appreciation from international music critics, while his presence in the art world with works exhibited in various art galleries increasingly shows another side of him. However, despite all the success, Taehyung is still someone who loves his family very much. In various interviews, he often talks about the importance of family in his life, especially his parents who have supported him since he was a child until he became one of the brightest stars in the world today. Busy schedules are often a hindrance for Taehyung to spend time with his family. On some occasions, he even admits that he misses simple moments with his parents, such as having dinner together or just chatting in the family room. This has become increasingly apparent over the past few years, especially as the pandemic makes physical distancing more and more pronounced. However, this year's Christmas brings new hope. Taehyung, who is known for being full of surprises, decides not to plan any big parties or fancy vacations. He just wants time with his family, especially his parents. In one of the interviews with a local magazine, he said, "I don't need any gifts. The presence of my parents was more than enough to make my Christmas perfect." On Christmas Eve, at Taehyung's simple but warm family home, this meeting finally takes place. Taehyung's parents came from his hometown of Daegu, bringing various traditional Korean foods that Taehyung had been a favorite since childhood. When the door of the house opens and the figure of his parents appears, Taehyung, who is known to be charismatic on stage, cannot hide his emotions. He hugged them tightly, as if to erase all the distance and time that had separated them all along. At the dinner table, the conversation flowed warmly. Taehyung's parents share stories about life back home, while Taehyung recounts interesting experiences he's had over the past year. Every now and then, they laugh together, reminiscing about Taehyung's childhood filled with funny mischief and big dreams. This moment reminds many people of the true meaning of Christmas. In simplicity, family warmth becomes the most valuable gift that cannot be replaced by anything. For Taehyung, this meeting is a reminder that even though he has reached the pinnacle of success, the roots of his true life and happiness remain in the relationship he has with his family. "My parents are my source of strength," Taehyung said in an interview after Christmas Eve. "They are the reason I survived in this industry with all the challenges. Their presence gave me a peace I couldn't find anywhere else." The story of Taehyung and his family at Christmas this year is an inspiration to many of his fans around the world. Many are moved to contact their families, even just to say how much they love and miss each other. On social media, hashtags like #TaehyungChristmas and #FamilyFirst are trending, with thousands of fans sharing their stories of how they're trying to value family more than ever. The simple Christmas Taehyung celebrates with his family shows the human side of a big star. Behind the glittering stage lights and camera glare, he is someone who still appreciates the little things that make life meaningful. "When all this is over, I just want to go back home with my family," Taehyung said at the end of the interview. This statement reminds us that although the world is constantly changing, values such as love and family will always be at the center of human life. And so, this year's Christmas became one of the most memorable for Kim Taehyung. Not because of luxury or popularity, but because of the warmth that only the people he loved the most could give him. After a meaningful Christmas Eve, Taehyung shared a little of that precious moment with his fans through his social media platforms. A simple photo shows her family holding hands on the dining table with a short but heartfelt caption, "This is the best gift I have ever received." This upload was immediately greeted with a flood of comments from fans who felt moved. Many of them expressed how much they were inspired by the way Taehyung values family in the midst of his popularity and busy career. She is a reminder that, behind all the ambitions and big dreams, family is where we can always come back, wrote one fan. The fans also shared their own stories about how they try to make time for parents and family, although sometimes it is difficult due to the various responsibilities that must be lived. This moment seems to be a universal celebration, which transcends cultural boundaries, and this Christmas also invites Taehyung to reflect on how important it is to slow down in the midst of a fast-moving life. He admits that, although he has achieved a lot, at times he feels that he has lost touch with the roots of his life. "When I'm with them, everything feels right," Taehyung revealed in an exclusive interview after the Christmas celebration. "I don't feel like a star or an idol. I just feel as a child missed by his parents." This reflection is also evident in his music. In some of the solo songs he released, themes about family, home, and childhood memories became the core of his lyrics. These songs, although full of emotion, became a kind of bridge for his listeners to feel what he was going through. Taehyung's Christmas story is not only news, but also a social phenomenon that encourages many people to get closer to their families again. Hashtags related to this story continued to be a hot topic for days, showing how much influence a Kim Taehyung can have on his fans. Many fans decide to do something simple but meaningful, like call their parents, send a small gift, or even plan a family gathering for the first time in years. "I realized that I haven't been home for 3 years," a fan wrote in one of the comments. "Taehyung's story made me realize that I shouldn't delay anymore. I finally booked a ticket to go home and celebrate Christmas with my family." As the years go by, this story remains a reminder to many of what really matters in life. In the midst of the hustle and bustle of the modern world, the story of a big star who just wants time with his family becomes something very grounded and relevant. For Taehyung, this year's Christmas will probably always be remembered as one of the most special moments in his life. The presence of parents by his side not only recharges his emotional energy, but also provides a new perspective on what he wants in the future. "Every year, I always have a list of resolutions," Taehyung said in a recent interview at the end of the year. "But this year, my resolution is simple. I just want to be with the people I love more." And with that, this story ends, but the message it carries lives on. A simple but profound lesson